welcome to this broadcast from wherever you're listening to me from. This is brought to you by ELEOS Group International, and ELEOS Group International is a travel and student recruitment agency in North America, Canada, with branches in West Africa, Nigeria. And my name is Salami Abosede. I'm a staff of the Ibadan branch here in Nigeria. Today's video is going to be it's going to be about me answering some frequently asked questions. Now, there's a video I made few months ago about some frequently asked questions that we get from our clients. So here is another set of frequently asked questions. But before I go into these questions that I'm going to be answering, I'm going to quickly run through the procedures that the company takes or runs through before we can start any process with any of our prospective clients. Now, here is the first one. Whatever pathway you want to travel to, we need to assess you to know what would work. Now, there are over 84 different pathways, like 84 different pathways to travel to Canada. Now, these 84 are divided into 4 major ones: work, study, visit, and permanent residency. Now, under these 4 major pathways, there are numerous pathways underneath. Now, it's not everything that you in particular would be eligible for. So we need to assess you to know exactly what you would be eligible for. That is, what can work for you and what can work. So that is the reason why you need to be assessed. Now, any of our representatives that you're directed to would definitely give you an idea on some of the pathways, but at the end of the day, you would be asked to obtain an assessment form to fill. You have to do that, because we won't guess and tell you, oh, okay, we'll start a process and this is how much it's going to cost, and we just tell you the documents you need to provide off our heads. No, we won't do that, because we would not want to lead you into error. Your money, your time, and you yourself, you're precious to us. That is why we would not lead you into error. And that is the reason why the first thing that you're going to need to do is to be assessed. Our international office in Ontario, we have experts there that would look into the information that you have provided us with in the assessment form, and that is what they're going to run with, and they are going to evaluate you. And within 24 to 48 hours, upon receiving the assessment form that you have filled, you would receive an eligibility result that contains the options that are available for you, for your information in particular, to apply for, how much it's going to cost you, and the documents that you're going to need to provide as well. That way you get a specified information, not just a general information that anybody can pick up from Google. The information that are put there by someone, it's not 100% accurate. Well, they are accurate to an extent, but not 100% accurate. So it's our job to make sure that we find out exactly what would work for you and what won't work. So having that at the back of your mind, now let's move on to the frequently asked questions. Alright, so the first question that we usually get is this: how do I know if I'm qualified to apply for a permanent residency? Now, just like I rightly explained while talking about the assessment form, before you can know whatever it is you are eligible for, you have to be assessed. But that doesn't mean that we won't tell you 1 or 2 things that are related to the pathway of your choice. Now, for those of you that have been thinking or you've been considering migrating via permanent residency, probably alone as an individual or with your whole family, I'm just going to run through some of the required documents that you're going to need, or the required qualifications. Let me put it that way. Now, the first one is that you need to have minimum of a master's degree. Yep. Now, if you have a BSc or something less than that, it's not maybe you can apply, but entering for permanent residency into the express entry pool, your qualifications, every requirement carries a point. Now, the higher your qualification, the higher your points, and the lower your qualification, the lower your points. And there is also an age range. You need to be between the ages of 25 to 35, but not more than 40. So the higher your age, after 35, the lower your points. So another thing that you're going to that is required is that you would need to write IELTS. It's a language proficiency exam. You would need to write that and have at least 7.5 band score. Then another thing that you're going to need is to have 2 to 3 years work experience minimum from your home country. Yeah. And you'd also need to do certificate evaluation for your credentials. So it's more or less like Canada verifying the certificates that you have provided them with. So you would need to do that, and it's popularly called West evaluation. Yeah, so for permanent residency, if you fit into this category, yes, then you should be able to apply. But this still doesn't determine whether you are eligible or not. I'm still saying this. Eligibility does not, there is more to it than what we think. It's not only this requirements that I mentioned that Canada is only after. No, there are other requirements as well, but these ones are the major ones. So to know exactly what would work for you, like what would really work, you need to get an assessment form. Now let me quickly rush into study. There is a pathway called study. That means if you want to travel to Canada to continue your studies, whether as an undergraduate or any postgraduate study course that you want to do, it's absolutely available. Now here is a simple process. The first thing that you would need to do, whether as an undergraduate or for any postgraduate course, the first thing is to gain admission into a school. Now we are affiliated with several schools all over the world, but because this video I'm going to be talking about Canada majorly, so I'm going to be limiting what I would say to Canada. So we have affiliations with a lot of schools in Canada, but we need to know the schools that your information would be eligible for. It's not all school that would offer the course that you want. It's not all school that accept what you have. So we need to cross-check your information with the schools that are available, and that way we'll be able to determine what would work and what can work. Alright, so for study, I'm going to run through some of the documents that you're going to need for your admission process. Now, the first one would be your O-level result with a scratch card. Now, your O-level result could either be WAEC or NECO, external or the school exam, and a scratch card to verify the results that you have provided us with. Now, the next thing would be transcript for either your diploma or BSc. Now, transcript is applicable to those that, transcript is applicable to those that have a level of education higher than SSCE. That means if you are a fresh high school graduate or you just finished secondary school, you would need to write a language proficiency exam, IELTS. But if you have probably an NC, HND or OND or BSc, and you want to go there to continue your studies, then you would need to provide transcripts. Then if you have a level of education higher than SSCE, you would need to provide a certificate that you have. Yes, so certificate is also part of the requirements. Another thing that you're going to need is your international passport, the data page, and a passport photograph with white background. You're going to need that as well. Yeah, so I'm going to rush into tuition. Now, once you've gained admission, you need to pay a certain percentage of the tuition to reserve your seat before your visa processing is out. Now, the schools that we are affiliated with, most schools in Canada and even all over the world, as long as you're an international student, somebody who is applying for study outside of the country, you would need to pay 50% of the tuition fee. But most of the schools that we are affiliated with, you would pay just 10% of the tuition fee. But we still need to know what would work for you and what can work, which still boils down back to the assessment form. Yes, so now, just like I rightly said earlier, for permanent residency, it's not every family or every individual that is eligible for a permanent residency. But there is good news, don't lose hope. Alright, so if your dream is to go to Canada with your family, but you don't qualify for permanent residency right from here, then either you or your spouse can apply for study or visit. And when you get into Canada, we have our headquarters there. We're going to guide you on how to cross over from that particular permit that you have to whatever it is you want at that point in time. Now, this is how study works. If you want to use study to, use that as a leverage to bring your family members into Canada. Now, the husband or the wife would apply. Once you've gained admission, your visa is out, you're studying already, then the rest of the family members can apply using you that is in Canada already as a leverage. So it can work that way. So you all might not be able to apply together via permanent residency, but what could be done is that one of the spouse would just apply for a study permit. Once that is done, then the rest of the family members have access to come into Canada to work. Even the children can school as well. Now, to know more about all this, contact any of the numbers displayed on the screen. Contact any one of our agents. They are going to talk to you and tell you everything that you need to know. Or if you feel, okay, yeah, I think I'm ready, and I think, yeah, I want to give it a trial, I want to go ahead. If you also feel like visiting our office as well, the Nigerian office is at number 29 at Adibado Street, Kongi, New Bodija Estate. It's going to be displayed on the screen, so you get to see where the address is. So you could either contact any of our agents, or you walk into our office and make your inquiries. Yes. So if you've been considering studying in Canada, visiting, traveling through, or applying for permanent residency, now is the best time for you to apply, because even despite COVID-19 and travel restriction, Canada is still accepting immigrant application online. Yes, there are numerous options that are available. If you have somebody who is pregnant, kindly check our previous videos on some of the videos we've done about different pathways that are available to travel to Canada. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and I would not want you to miss it. And just like the new year is sipping in, we're going to be having a discount offer available that would be made known to you once you contact any of our agents as well. So I hope to see you in my next video.